Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I think some technical glitch.
Okay.
So yeah, let's wait for people to join in and then we can
Sure, sure.
start.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, I don't see anybody now, so let's just people
Oh,
generally take time to log in.
okay.
So how is it in Bangalore? How's the weather and all?
Weather is really nice now
Hmm.
after a week of rain and it was really gloomy last week. So it's
Hmm.
much better today. It's very sunny today.
Okay.
So
So
it's much better.
much better. Okay. So it's a coastal area in Kochi and probably the kind of weather here is not that
Okay.
great as in Bangalore, but still
Okay.
manageable.
Okay. That's great.
So yeah, so I think we'll start right now.
Sure.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome to our third episode of Kapi Poa session in our World of Book series. And the topic we're planning to discuss today is NLP. Yeah, before I get there, I want to give you a brief introduction about myself as well as my initiative, Nimitam. So, I'm Smita Omeshan, Chartered Accountant by qualification with 16 plus years of experience in the banking and finance industry. Recently, I took a sabbatical or a break from my corporate career to experience my life through travel, and I had a great time with that. And once I came back into my city life, I went through a transformational journey, and I got to know about my own purpose. So that's how Nimitam started. So Nimitam is a Malayalam word which means a reason or indication of a good omen. So yeah, Nimitam is the name I've given it to my platform, and my platform is there to share my own dreams and passion. Basically, recently I've started with chat shows by the name called Kapi Poha Session, wherein I have my guests who are all my sheroes and heroes of my life who come and share their experiences, their life journey, and all. And further, I want to take these experiences or leverage these experiences and the life journey and the learnings which I've learned from these guys, as well as my own life experience, to go ahead and take life skill workshops for youngsters. So that is it from me regarding my journey, my journey as well as my Nimitim initiative. So probably let me get back to the topic of today, which is NLP. So NLP means Neuro Linguistic Programming, and I happen to do an NLP practitioner course recently. So as mentioned a little while ago, I happened to go through my transformational journey and I found my purpose in life. So when you find your purpose in life, you become little curious to know more about yourself. So I wanted to know why am I the way I am. So probably NLP gave me that answer. So I did my practitioner course under Smriti, and she's an NLP coach and practitioner herself. And she's not only that, she's also a leadership and executive coach. She's been in this industry or involved with this technology of NLP for last 10 years, and she's been trained under Michael Beal and Vikram Dhar, who are industry experts as well. And probably for me, she's a hero, not because of her professional accomplishments, but also from a personal perspective as well. The connect which I have with Smriti is because of books. She's a very simple person. She lives her life in a very simple manner. She's a crystal clear thinker, basically. And moreover, and if you get a chance to talk to her, she will talk about books, a Carnatic music lover too. And even at this point of time, also, she must be having the list of 70 book names on top of her mind. So probably that's how Smriti is all about. And she's an inspiration for me, and she's our Shiro for this episode. Let me hand it over to Smriti Raghav. Welcome, Smriti, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on this show, Smita. It makes me humble to, hear such things. I am so privileged to be one of your, Shiro. Thank you so much.
Okay, so Smriti, we have a lot of questions to be asked from you. Can I start bombarding you with them?
Sure, sure, Smita. Sure.
So probably first question would be, what is NLP and what is it all about? What is its benefits? Is it really effective?
Okay. So NLP stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming, as you said. So it deals with the way you perceive information, the language pattern that you use to, convey what you have, just seen, and the way you adjust your behavior to get the results that you want. So this was developed by Richard Bandler and John Grinder maybe sometime in the 1970s. So they met at the University of Santa Cruz. John Grinder was a linguistic professor and Richard Bandler was a mathematician. So what they did was they studied people who got results. Those
Okay.
people who had little learning but they got exceptional results
Mm.
compared to those people who were struggling so much even with lot of training and lot of years of experience in their particular field.
Okay.
So they started studying them from a neurological perspective as to what is happening, how they are coordinating their mind, body, and their behavior in order to get the result, whether they are failing or whether they are actually being successful. So they started studying. So during that time, they started studying industry experts such as Gregory Bateson, then Virginia Satir, who was a pioneer in family therapy, then Milton Erickson, who started his own hypnosis school, and they studied few more people. The founders of transactional analysis, such as Carl Rogers and Eric Berne. So they studied all these people, and they came up with a formula. So they said, if it works for them, then it should work for everyone else. So
Yeah.
they started extracting how, they just made a formula or a framework from, what they studied from these people. And that became the framework for NLP.
Okay.
So this is how NLP came into the world.
Okay.
So that's how they brought it into the world.
Mm. So what is its benefits basically? Benefits and its
So, there are a lot of benefits for NLP. So it could be, you took the course. So, you might have, you may be able to relate that your clarity of life, your purpose, and your vision would have become much more clearer when you took the course. And your, the thoughts, your thought process, how you organized yourself, it start becoming clear. Or for someone who has negative self-talk in their mind, it's easy to overcome that negative self-talk because you know what you're doing. Also helps you to deal with difficult people. So we have certain set of difficult people, be it your personal or your professional front. So how do you deal with them? So how do you build that rapport? How do you get through to them? How do you make them understand that okay, this is what it is? Or how do you avoid interaction with such difficult people causing a stress on your life? So it helps you deal with that. And it also helps you with overcoming some unhelpful behavior. Okay. So sometimes we would have developed some unhelpful behavior, which we cause impediments to us itself. So how do you break that? And most importantly, it moves you from a place of stuck state to a more resourceful state. So how do you make that transition? So that in that NLP is a really great tool to help you with that, from stuck state to a resourceful state. So it gives you freedom of choice, and it makes you a very creative thinker when it comes to difficult problem solving.
So next, I want to ask you something like, we have information all around us, and we perceive information in a certain manner. So there's something called NLP communication model. So I wanted to know, how do you interpret the or process the world around us, basically? So how do we interpret our information?
So in NLP, I mean, NLP communication model is very complex. So how it goes is, so for example, if you're witnessing an event, a stimulus, you have a response to it. So it happens in a snap second. Okay. So NLP communication model is expanding the space between an event happening and your response. So how do you expand it, and what happens in that space? So if you just press pause, if you cause a time warp between the event happening to your response, it's like this. So you say, for example, you slip on a banana peel and you fall on your back. Okay. So the first thing that happens is, like, you may you may slip and you fall. So the physical thing. So you may hurt your back. You may probably feel the stench of the banana peel, and you may start feeling embarrassed.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
may be wondering, oh my God, who saw me fall down?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and if it's like a group of, you're falling in front of a large number of people, that embarrassment, you can't even lift your eyes. And then you
True,
start
true.
hearing voices. People may empathize with you, or people may laugh at you.
Definitely.
So you'll be like,
Absolutely.
oh God, what's happening? And then you start feeling uncomfortable.
Hmm.
So between the event happening to your response, so finally what you decide. So the state, if you're embarrassed, or if you say, "Hey, that's okay, I just fell down, let me get up and, dust it off and walk." So it
Hmm.
depends on that. So if you're somebody who took it to the heart, you'll be like, oh my God, I embarrassed myself. And that thought keeps coming the entire day. Say, for example, you fell down while going to your office, or, you're going to work, or, that thought keeps running in your mind, and
Hmm.
that affects your physiology for the entire day. So
Hmm.
maybe you'll engage in more embarrassing activities for the entire day if you have felt embarrassed.
Okay, so
So
one
another
after the other
example
follows.
is, yes, another example is, when you're going on a date, or
Hmm.
somebody has set you up with some guy or girl.
Hmm.
So, some people, they prefer to see the person
Yeah,
actually. So
absolutely, yeah.
they say that, I want to see how this girl or this guy looks. So before I
Hmm.
even think about moving it ahead. Some people are like, I want to hear this person's voice.
Hmm.
Okay. So what do they sound like? What are they like? And some people want to feel. So what it is like to be around such people. I
Hmm.
mean, I need to know, I need to check whether I feel okay around them. Some people
Hmm.
are like, they want to smell their perfume, the kind of
Hmm.
perfume they use. Okay.
Absolutely. Hmm.
So people perceive things in different ways. So that forms an internal representation in the mind,
Hmm.
that leads to your emotional state, that leads to your behavior. So this is,
Cool.
in a nutshell, this is how you perceive the world as per the NLP communication model.
Okay. So another interesting question I have is, how does learning typically happen in NLP? So,
In and see, we generally, you may have, we may be aware of the four methods that you use for in a learning circle. That is
hmm.
unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, then the four things that follow that. But in NLP, it's very simple. So there are two ways. One is simple learning. One is generative learning.
Hmm.
So simple learning is like, you don't know something, you're learning something. You're fixing gap, and then you're looking at the feedback loop, whether this is what you have understood,
Hmm.
and then you move on.
Hmm.
The next one is generative learning, which addresses your beliefs and assumptions. So
Hmm.
if you don't know this and you want to know this,
Hmm.
is your belief coming into picture? So do
Okay.
you need to change your belief? Do you need to alter your belief? So is your belief causing an impediment for you to move forward? So it addresses the belief. So when
Okay.
you did your course, you may have experienced changing your beliefs, or letting go of your, the beliefs
Full
that
belief.
were not helpful.
Yes.
You can relate to that. So it's basically about whether you make your life easy or miserable with these assumptions that you hold. So you don't know something, you want to. Uh, I think somebody is telling, please speak into the mic. Hello, guys. Please tell me if I'm audible now.
Oh, yeah. It's audible to me. I don't know.
Okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
so your assumptions, it deals with your assumptions and your beliefs.
Hmm.
So in that level, so can
Okay.
you do that? So
Hmm.
that's how learning is. It's very simple and generative learning.
Hmm. So there's something called self-limiting beliefs. Okay, so even when I went through it, I also replaced my limiting beliefs with my empowering beliefs and all. So how does NLP address those self-limiting beliefs?
So in NLP, we don't consider anything as limiting. So every belief has a positive intention. Okay,
Okay.
we go into the actual intention the belief is trying to address.
Hmm.
So we go to that need that belief is trying to address. So it could be excessive smoking, or binge eating,
Hmm.
or drinking, or anything.
Hmm.
So we don't look at things at a surface level. We go into it into a deeper level. So we
Hmm.
think about, okay, where is this behavior actually helpful?
Okay.
So we look at it. So we kind of reframe it. So
Hmm.
maybe there are areas where the behavior is helpful. So we
Hmm.
try to reframe it that way, and then
Hmm.
we kind of reprogram it, and we just kind of change the path of that. So maybe if for someone who is, who is engaging in a behavior of smoking or drinking, so
Yeah.
smoking is the only way the person remembers to breathe deeply. Okay. So whenever they are stressed, they take, they smoke and they breathe so deeply, and then they feel relaxed.
Yeah.
Okay. So ultimately, it's being relaxed and feeling that, that calmness embrace you. So how do you do that without smoking? So you should tell them that, you can do that even with deep breath. You can do something else. So if you want to stop engaging in such behavior, you need to know what else you can replace that with. This is one way we address it. So the other way is, you take a step back and you look at your own life. Okay. So when you take a step back, you start seeing things more objectively. So this is
That
one
happens.
way you, yeah. So I mean, if you can relate to that, I remember when we were doing that belief activity. So you had to step back and you're like, okay, now things make sense to me. Okay, now I think this is,
Yeah.
ridiculous. I remember you telling that. I mean, can you relate to that?
Yeah. The way I was able to look at my life from a past to present and what I had my visions and purpose in life too. I mean, that was a beautiful thing which we did, that visualization activities. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah. So let me get back to another question, which is like importance of coaching and importance of reading books, and how is it connected with your NLP basically? So people do NLP coaching, people do read books regarding NLP. Has there been any linkage to it?
So basically, like I said, simple learning. When you don't know something and you know something, so the bridge is closed. So similarly, if you look at it from an NLP lens, when you learn something, when you read something new, you start thinking differently, you start talking differently, and you start behaving differently because you know a new piece of information.
Yeah.
Okay. So till now you didn't know. So
Mm.
now that you know, you start thinking differently. You become more open-minded.
Yeah.
So, so it is very essential to learn NLP. Whoever wants to learn NLP, it's really essential for you to look at it from a curious state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
So you should look at it from, okay, what's next? So what if? So what will happen if this happens? So you should look at it from a very curious state of mind. Only then it will be very effective. So this reading will hone that. So by reading, you become more receptive, and you become, you start looking at it in a very open-minded way.
Yeah.
So it kind of, when you read, it elicits curiosity. It makes you open-minded, and you begin to articulate well
Yeah.
because you have more knowledge,
Mm.
and you will develop, creative ways to address problems. Okay. Then you'll become an influential communicator because when you read, you know a lot of things. And when you know a lot of things, and when you say something, people tend to listen to you more because they feel
Absolutely.
that, yes, I
You have
think
more
this
knowledge.
makes sense.
Mm.
This makes sense. So they
Mm.
start thinking like that. So coaching, it encapsulates three elements: so mind, language, and your behavior,
Mm.
when you look at it from an NLP lens. Okay, so mind is your, your ability to think.
Mm.
Language is the way you use it to influence, and programming is how you program yourself, structure yourself to get the results that you want.
Mm.
So maybe it opens doors for new ways of approaching your current challenges.
Okay.
So maybe, ways where you had not thought about things, so now
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking about. So it kind of bridges between how your language affects your thinking and your actions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's how NLP helps you, I mean,
So yeah.
reading
So
books.
so yeah, probably there's one question I think you told us about what is NLP, what is its benefits. Even I want to know, is it effective? Because people keep asking me whether it is effective or not. So is it?
It is effective provided the person, whoever is undergoing the program, takes responsibility
Mm,
for his life
mm,
and approaches with a curious state of mind.
okay.
These two are the most important things. If they
Okay.
don't take responsibility, then they may say that, this doesn't work for me. So these two things are really essential for NLP to work. Because why I'm saying curious state of mind is, see, here there are a lot of concepts that has worked in a lot of context. Okay. So
Yeah.
only if you give yourself a chance, only if you are curious about how it will affect or how it will impact you, you will understand or you will be able to appreciate the transformation it causes.
Absolutely.
So it is essential for a curious state of mind.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I know you are an avid reader, and whenever we interact, it's all about books. So probably I want to ask you a question for our viewers. Basically, what are the books you might recommend that one should read in their lifetime? Basically, so basically any top 3 or top 4, whichever comes to your mind. Basically,
Yeah, I have top 70 right now. Let
I
me
know
read.
that you have 70. The list is huge. That's why I'm restricting you to stop at 3 or 4.
So, okay, the first book which I recommend everybody is Seven Habits, because Seven Habits is a really old book. It's a little heavy, but then I would recommend people to read it once in a lifetime. So the first three habits covers your individual effectiveness, and the next three habits, the 4, 5, and 6, addresses your interaction, your collaboration, your team skills and all. And the seventh habit is about sharpening your skills. So in a lifetime, everybody must read Seven Habits. The second book I would recommend is Drive by Daniel Pink. I like this book a lot. This was one of the very first books that I read under the non-fiction category. So it gives you an insight about the concept of motivation, how carrot and stick will not work always. So it is not always a motivation. So you can't use carrot and stick concept everywhere. And most importantly, the importance of setting your own goal rather than have somebody else set you or impose goals upon you, because that doesn't have much impact on you. So
Okay.
it is very essential for you to, make your own goals. So that is one important thing he talks about.
Okay.
And the next is Predictably Irrational by Dan Ariely. So this is again a book on behavioral economics. So he talks about the power of comparisons.
Okay.
So people compare
Hmm.
before they buy.
Oh,
People
wow.
compare before they make decisions.
Okay.
And we as humans are
Hmm.
hardwired to compare things. And how
Hmm.
you can use this principle to leverage yourself.
Hmm.
So when you give people easy options, they really value you more. Okay.
Hmm.
And he also touches upon an important concept that nothing is coincidence.
Okay.
However we behave, our
Hmm.
behavior is not something random.
Hmm.
Everything has a purpose. We may
Okay.
not know. You
Hmm.
cannot say that, oh, it's such a coincidence, I was thinking and I got this. No,
Hmm.
there is
Hmm.
no coincidences. So
Hmm.
everything is systematic and everything is predictable.
So cool.
And
I.
he tells one more interesting concept. So we as humans, we are more driven by fear of losing than fear of gaining.
Hmm.
So we
Fear of
are like
losing.
fear of losing is a greater motivation factor than fear of
Okay.
gaining.
Gaining. Okay.
So I don't want to lose this, so let me do something. So I don't
Okay.
want to get some health issue. I don't want to get some health scar. So I'm going to be fit. Let me go run. Let me do something. I
Ah,
don't want to.
interesting.
I'm in a border, so no, I don't want to end up there. So let me do something.
Hmm.
So that works better. If you see advertisers also, people use that as a leverage and they make you buy products. So
Okay.
that brings me to my third favorite book, which is Blink. So it is very important to when you're making split second decisions. Okay,
Okay. Huh?
so when you're in the height of your emotional, so the fear of losing versus fear of gaining, so
Huh.
that fear shouldn't drive you to make hasty decisions.
Okay. Cool.
So it
So,
is very important to take a step back, and then look at what is happening, and not to get carried away by stereotypes and people with prejudices. So it's always, okay, I think that you are aware in NLP, you just take a step back, press pause,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you take a step
Pause
back.
and then take a back. Yeah, I remember
Yes,
that. Yeah, yeah.
but he explains it very nicely in the book. He's given a lot of illustrations. So these are
Yeah.
my top four books.
So yeah, guys, I will when I be posting all my questions and this video and various social media sites, I will put this book as well there. So yeah, another question which I want to ask you is, what is the takeaway you want to give to the viewers basically from your life experience? What is it one thing which you want to tell people about?
So one thing is, be resilient.
Hmm.
So pick yourself up. So whenever you fall down, whenever you have hand grenades thrown at you, or whenever you feel that life is throwing sucker punches, just dust
Hmm.
yourself, pick yourself up, and keep walking.
Hmm.
And always be persistent. Never lose the sight of your goal. Okay.
Okay.
So don't be bogged down by things that are not happening. Shift your
Hmm.
focus to how you can make things happen. Develop that behavioral flexibility,
Okay.
so that so this is what I want. So if you are not getting the result that you want, think about it, be creative, look at it from a different perspective. So don't
Hmm.
get bogged down when things are not happening your way. Pick yourself up and keep walking.
You mean so the takeaway for us is being persistent in whatever we do, right? It's
Yes,
cool.
yes,
So
yes.
yeah, so probably we've come to end to an end, and with a lot of questions we've already answered. But one interesting question which I was continuously being asked by all my friends and family as well is NLP only for people who want to do coaching in life? Is it people who want to achieve something in professional life? Is it for anybody? Anybody, any person can go and do NLP or not? So I think you probably you can
Yes.
answer it.
Yes, NLP can be done by anyone, so there is no age limit. I have people who are 55, 60 who are, who are taking the program. So I have even teenagers who are taking the program. So two things again I would like to stress is, you have to be responsible for your life. You need to be able to take responsibility for your action, and then you have to approach this with a curious state of mind. So
Hmm.
if you can do this, anybody can take the NLP program.
Okay. So I had a
So it's
great
open
time
for that.
talking to you, Smriti. So it was well articulated, and probably you've answered all our questions basically. So yeah,
Thank
so
you
it
so
was
much.
an so yeah. Let me check for questions because last time we had I think normally we get questions. I think there's no questions for today, and a lot of questions which I've already picked up with you has been come through my DM as only. So probably it's time to end our show. So thank you viewers for watching us, and thanks for watching my episode 1 and episode 2 as well. Let's catch up next week with another interesting episode and also an interesting guest and interesting topic as well. So bye till then. Take care. Thanks, Priti, once again. Okay,
Thank you,
cool.
Smita, for having me. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you.
Okay, cool then. Bye.
Bye.